What's up everyone, Steven here. Hope you are all doing well out there. I'm back with another top 5 video. In case you missed last week's episode, I counted down my top 5 favorite Neil deGrasse Tyson quotes, which I'll leave linked down below. So this time I'll be doing my top 5 things I've gained from going to college. At this very moment, there are probably so many people out there questioning whether they should go to college, finish college, or why they even went in the first place. So I thought I'd share my perspective on the topic and see what you guys thought. I myself graduated from Cal State Fresno back in 2011. Taking my courses and working full-time was pretty much all I did in the years leading up to graduation, and it's right up there as one of the most challenging things I ever dealt with. I was in that tricky position of qualifying for some small grants but couldn't pay for tuition myself. My grades weren't high enough for an academic scholarship, and frankly I wasn't diligent enough about getting other forms of scholarships and grants, so I took on student loans, which I'm still paying on today. So with all this in mind, you may ask, was it worth it? Find out as I explain the top 5 things I gained from going to college. So starting at number 5 is developing speaking and writing skills. Getting up in front of a class full of strangers throughout the years was tough, but I eventually got comfortable enough with it and learned a lot along the way. Preparation plays a big part in that, so if you research thoroughly enough and rehearse a few times, your chances of success will definitely improve. A couple of key things I remember are to not use filler words like and to maintain a consistent tempo of speaking that isn't too fast. And it needed to be loud enough for everyone to hear. Pretty much no professor allowed you to read off paper, so that forced me to get better as well. As far as writing, I had professors that were serious sticklers about punctuation and grammar, which was good. I had one professor who was really particular about not using unnecessary wording and redundant phrases, which really stuck with me. I wrote a lot of papers where I had to demonstrate a certain knowledge and get my points across in an organized, concise way. All this has helped me become an effective communicator, which is important in everyday life. Number 4 is character development. Taking on a college degree is pretty time intensive and involves a lot of hard work. I learned a lot about myself along the way and developed a resiliency and refusal to give up. At times, knowing just how far I had to go and some of the frustrations I would experience made me want to just walk away from it all, but I knew I made a commitment and I was going to see it through no matter what. Working full-time made it that much more challenging, but I knew there were probably people with even more difficult circumstances making it work, so I just had to press on. I definitely learned to become more accountable for myself as far as school performance went. No one was really concerned with whether you were successful or not. So it was on me to perform and pass my courses, especially since I was paying for them and it was my degree to lose. Learning to deal with and manage life adversities also made me better. There were never really any lax moments during a semester, and work life was a roller coaster. I just learned to take on that load, roll with the punches, and accomplish my end goal. Coming in at number 3 is handling pressure. Usually in the first couple weeks or so of a semester, it's somewhat easy, but it gets progressively harder and quickly. There's always a paper due, quiz or test coming up, and presentation to give. So with all of these things coming at you, it's pretty demanding, but I learned how to be proactive to keep up with it all. So naturally, I'm kind of a procrastinator, so I had to break that habit in order to keep up. A lot of times you don't have a choice of which professor you get, and you have to deal with their personalities and approach to a course. So clearly you can see there is a lot going on during a semester, and in order to get through, I had to adapt to this pressure and become accustomed to it. Coming in at number 2 are habits. As a full-time student with a set schedule of classes, it involved a great deal of preparation. So I had no choice. I had to develop a skill in time management and make certain sacrifices. So keeping up with school, I had to make certain sacrifices like my personal life, watching sports, going out with friends. So over time, I quickly learned what habits would work for me and which wouldn't. It's the little things like being detail-oriented, not getting complacent, and putting in extra hours outside of class that are going to provide you success. All those things are still applicable in my life today. And finally, coming in at number 1 is critical thinking. To me, without a doubt, that is the most beneficial thing about a college education. You learn to think on a deeper level. You're researching more thoroughly, and you're looking at things from multiple perspectives. Some professors were really good during their lectures at providing great perspectives, and it really opened my mind. It wasn't just enough to sit back and take in all this perspective. I had to articulate it back to show that I understood it. You develop an appreciation for the intricacies of things and just how varied they can be. You learn to be more analytical, consider multiple viewpoints, and be as subjective as possible. So what I found is college was a great learning experience, but life is really your university. I think it's great to be knowledgeable, but what really determines your success is your value. I don't have any regrets going to college, but I do think it's too expensive nowadays. So I probably couldn't have gotten the benefits of college anywhere else. And while it was pretty difficult, it was worth it. So while school hasn't panned out into a career, it has helped me in everyday life. While I appreciate the benefits and I know it's a privilege to learn, I definitely could have lived without the debt. Thank you for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you have any thoughts or your own college experiences, be sure to share them in the comments below. You can also connect with me in my social media links down below. I'll see you in the next video.